Good morning. Just leaving a gray, gloomy, and rainy Minneapolis to head up to Minnesota's North Shore for a 3-day, 2-night backpacking trip on the Superior Hiking Trail. But first, a 3-hour drive to meet my shuttle driver at the Rossini Road Trailhead to get this adventure started. Alrighty, so we made it to Rossini Road Trailhead, and I'm just waiting for the shuttle driver to come pick me up. So, fun fact is that this is the trailhead that I ended my hiking season on last year, doing the stretch from Fox Farm down, and the trail is right here, down through here. So I will be heading up to Split Rock Wayside, and then the shuttle driver will drop me off there. So I'll be heading north, and then I'll be walking 43.5 miles south to come through where the trail meets up right here. So the shuttle driver should be here in a few minutes, and excited to get on trail. All right, so my shuttle driver just dropped me off at the Split Rock Wayside trailhead, and I am going to be going, I think it's a 0.3 spur to actually get on the Superior hiking trail, and then I'll be going 15.5 miles to my campsite for tonight, which is Crow Valley campsite. So let's get on trail. So on the Superior hiking trail, you're going to follow blue blazes, but white is going to indicate spur trail. So we are on the spur trail to connect to the Superior hiking trail, which is where we will find our blue blazes to follow. All right, so I made it to my first junction here of the Split Rock. This is where it splits off, and you can go the Split Rock Loop, which in a couple weeks I'm going to come back up and do the part to go up that way. For this trip, we are going to be heading southbound, and we are going to start going this way here. All right, so I've been going uphill pretty much since that split, and we've had a ton of rain up here this spring, so the trail is pretty muddy, which I expected, but just kind of trudging through the mud here. I actually had a trip planned up here for 2 weeks ago on a flatter section of trail, and canceled it. The trailhead was underwater, the road was closed. So I think I'm going to reschedule and do that one more towards the fall. It's a less desirable section of trail. So I just feel like with the bugs and the water, and it being a relatively flatter section, that it's just going to be best to wait till fall to do that. So just trudging through some mud here. It's going to be a muddy trip. I'm just glad it's not raining. So I just passed a group of probably 13, 14-year-olds, a group maybe 10, 12 that were out for a hike, and it looked like so much fun. They had their guide in front, very respectful. They all were, have a great day, enjoy your hike. It's so fun to see that they're out here doing this, which is the reason why I am making this video. Is I like to watch backpacking videos, one of my favorite pastimes, and my son references the videos that I watch and the people in them, and I'm always like, your mommy does that stuff too, and I'm out there doing this kind of stuff, but he never actually really sees it, and I'm trying to groom him to start getting into backpacking. I really hope that he wants to join me someday and that he loves it as much as I do. So I'm hoping that these videos bring him a step closer to that. All right, so all those hills have finally brought me somewhere up to my first overlook here. As you can see, So that's Lake Superior in the background. It actually blends in with the sky, but here to here, that's actually Lake Superior, and then you got your sky there. So nice and breezy up here at this overlook, which I am enjoying very much. It got warm quick here on me, so on we go. We have found our way to another overlook of Lake Superior. You can see there again blending into the clouds. Oh, that breeze feels great. And so does the lack of mud. Oop, spoke too soon. The overlooks do not disappoint. I found a nest of birds. Crows, maybe? I don't think they like that I'm here. Better keep it moving. Alright, so I found a water source. Probably not the best water source, but a water source nonetheless. Just gotta filter this. I'm just gonna fill up this water bottle for right now. I'm gonna run into plenty of other water along the way so that I can fill up this and then my my liter as well before I get to camp. Be sure to test your filters before you head out on trail. I tested mine at home and it was actually clogged, so I'm really glad that I tested it out before getting out here so I could back flush it. I also brought my tool so I can back flush it if I need to. It's a real problem if you get out here and have no way to filter your water. I'll get this filtered, get back on the trail. So we are passing our first campsite here, the Blueberry Hill campsite. We should be getting close to the spur to Gooseberry. This section of trail has quite a bit of boardwalks on it, and I just want to say thank you to all of the SHTA volunteers that come out here and do all the work on the trail for everyone. It really makes a difference and it's very much appreciated. So this is a lot of what I'm seeing today. Mud just like this. And the only way is to just go through it. A lot of mud. Yep, still on the trail. Looks like we found a shelter, Skunk Creek Shelter. I believe we are getting close to Gooseberry. It's a nice little shelter here. You got a fire pit, an outhouse. That's a backwoods luxury. A nice little bridge in the stream here. I believe that's the Gooseberry River. So we are getting close to Gooseberry, at least. I know the spur trail to get into Gooseberry is closed because of the flooding, which we are not going that way, so that is perfect. So yeah, Gooseberry River. beautiful. Very lovely. And I believe I'll be following this for several miles, so I'll have a nice water source to dip into here when I need it. And just hearing some thunder. I did hear that there could be some thunderstorms, so I am gonna just keep on going. Got my rain stuff. I was expecting rain in the forecast, so here we go. So I had hiked the Gooseberry section I had started at Castle Danger last July, almost this exact same time last year. And I had hiked from Castle Danger into Gooseberry State Park and then back to Castle Danger Trailhead. And coming through here now, I've already passed where it would go to Gooseberry. I know that there was a reroute that happened. Previously, I had followed the river a lot more after coming out of Gooseberry. So I'm wondering if I'm experiencing a whole new part of the trail here with this reroute. But not super familiar from that last time I was here. I will say I did get a little turned around coming out of Gooseberry last year and ended up bushwhacking to find the trailhead. To find my way back to the trail. So possibly I'm on the section that I missed while I was lost. So the thunder keeps happening, but all I see is blue skies. So we'll just kind of see what happens with that. Here we go. That last bridge I thought was this bridge. So here we are, Gooseberry River. I'm pretty sure that other one was the Gooseberry River too. Possibly, I'd have to look at a map to see if that's accurate. But this is where I am remembering from my previous trip, which would be right here. Is if you go left, here is the spur to the visitor center, 3.3 miles to get there. And then we are going to be heading to the campsites this way. And this is where I believe I remember following the river. As I can see, there is obviously water. So let's see, Castle Danger's 8.7 miles. So I'll have to look and see. I believe Crow Valley is before Castle Danger, but I'm gonna have to look at the map and check that out. Getting a better picture of the sky here and the thunder. I do see that we do have stuff rolling in, so I'll be probably pulling on my rain gear here before long. So I remember this being a very overgrown section of trail from my last trip. It is not my favorite section to hike, so we're just gonna have to kind of trudge through. But I do remember there being very high weeds and stuff in parts. And I did read the trail reports before coming out here that I believe at one point somewhere along when we follow closer to the river, that some of the trail has been washed into the river, and that there's a little reroute around or to work your way around. So we will see when we get to that. So this is pretty much what I remember, are these tall thingies here and just kind of overgrown trail. And yeah, just kind of like this. Just not my favorite section of trail to be coming down here. So I have several miles of this. At least a couple. I do remember it opening up kind of as you get closer to Castle Danger. So the first couple maybe the next 4 miles are like this, and then the next 4 after that are, you know, kind of gets a little bit back to kind of the Superior hiking trail that I'm used to. Oh, boardwalk's a little rickety. So I do distinctly remember last year being very sad that I had chosen this section to do an out and back, because I got to do it twice, and this is now my 3rd time doing this little stretch of trail. But I had not done the stretch from Split Rock to here yet, and I have not done the stretch beyond Castle Danger that goes from Castle Danger down to my car at Rossini Road. All right, the rain is starting. We found middle Gooseberry campsite. So kind of your standard SHT campsite here. Got some sleeping pads, and you are right by the river. So that's nice. All right, here we go. Got the rain gear on, got the pack covered. All right, the rain has stopped. I did just come down here and get some water. I got attacked by mosquitoes, but that was pretty rough. I got pretty dirty, pretty wet. Got those mosquito bites. And now here we go back on trail. But hey, at least the rain stopped. It's possible that this is the section that got washed out. I'm not quite sure. Maybe I haven't hit it yet, but thinking that is possible, that could be it. So that back there somewhere between all those fallen trees that I just hopped over is the trail, and this is possibly where the trail was, but this might be the reroute around that bank. I keep thinking I'm finding it, but it is pretty gnarly back here. So this has kind of been the state of the state, just trudging through mud coming out of Gooseberry and kind of along the river here. It has stopped raining, which is great, but yeah, not my favorite section of trail. I'm looking forward to just getting this done. All right, so I have about 2.5 miles to camp, and it cannot come quick enough. These mosquitoes are chasing me, and the trail is a swamp. So I cannot, sorry, I keep swatting away the mosquitoes. The brush here is wiping away all of my bug spray, and I cannot put it on fast enough. And then I take it off, and then they just attack again. So just need to get to camp. I believe it is up at an overlook, so I am going to be grateful for when I can start climbing and get out of this mud pit. That's going to be great. Just got done climbing a very big hill. I think I made it through some of the mud. I only have about 1.5 miles to camp, but that mud was gnarly. I am pretty covered here. And if I remember right, there are not really any water sources before I get to camp. I already got all my water back at Gooseberry, so I should be good and set for camp here in 1.5 miles for the night. But that mud was something else. Really glad to be through that. And all of a sudden, just with the sun coming out, and this, after I climbed that hill, all of a sudden the mosquitoes kind of went away as well, which was really nice. They were insane in that mud. They were relentless. Every time I tried to even just get a drink of water. They were attacking. So yeah, I definitely expect quite a bit more mud on this trip, but I do know the shuttle driver also said, you know, Gooseberry is going to be the section, which I also figured that it would be as well. One, I had done it before and I did not love it. Two, I just knew since it wasn't kind of up that it would also be pretty muddy. So we have reached cocktail hour on the trail, which cocktail hour for me is some electrolyte powder in my water. Hopefully this will give me a little boost that I need. And this is a super flavorful one, so hopefully it will just be kind of a nice little treat to have. I am just getting over a little bout of COVID, and I actually can't taste or smell anything, so hopefully that will come back soon, but I'm guessing I won't be able to even taste this, but it's extra flavorful, so maybe. No, not really. Little bit. Tastes like something possibly sweet. So there you go. All right. About 1.5 miles to camp. All right. So we made it to Crow Valley campsite, and there was a lot more mud on the way. I'm not going to film much around camp just because that's pretty full. Castle Danger trailhead is only about 1 mile that way. So there's a little stream that's coming through here, so I was able to kind of clean myself up a little bit, which was really nice. I didn't know if there would be a water source here, so that is really nice. And there is also a latrine, so that is also nice as well. I hardly saw anyone today, so I did think that I was going to end up possibly camping alone, which it's just a lot nicer when you have people camping with you as well. So yeah, so I'll show you around my little camp here in just a minute. All right, so we got camp all set up, got some food made. It's thundering pretty good. The rain is coming, so I'm gonna go sit in my tent and eat some dinner. And now the rain started. So it started thundering and got kind of dark, and then we were all sitting out getting ready to heat up stuff for food, and all of a sudden you could just sense it coming, and everyone just kind of retreated to their tent. So took my dinner to go. This is more of my snack, but luckily was able to boil water and I have some like chicken flavored rice that I'm going to add some buffalo tuna to for dinner. But kind of a bummer is my fuel, or I'm not sure if it's the fuel can or the BRS like stove, or I'm sorry, the connector to it. Is I went to go connect it, which I tested the actual like piece before I used it, and it worked fine. So I don't know if it's the fuel or if it's the actual like stove piece. But I went to connect it, and all of the gas started like spurting out of it. And it was freezing cold, and it kind of like burned my hands. Again, I can't smell or taste anything, but I could smell like something very strong. And at that point even when I got it on and it stopped hissing, and it stopped spurting, and then I tried to turn it on, it was spurting out above the stove. So the nice people that I'm camping with, they offered to boil me up some water with their jet boil. So I was able to make dinner tonight. It'll be a bummer for tomorrow morning, and the rest of the trip is I have oatmeal for breakfast that I need boiling water for, and I have another rice thing for dinner for tomorrow night, the other half of the pack. I still have tuna, I have bars, I have beef sticks. I have enough food to get through. It just breakfast will be a little a little non-existent, or I'll have to cut back on snacks or something throughout the day. So I already don't feel like I brought a ton of food, just kind of, again, no taste and smell. I haven't really been super hungry to eat. All right, hopefully this rain will be passing soon. I'm gonna have a little dinner. It is really coming down out there. So just kind of having my dinner in a bag here, hoping it lets up soon. All right, so the rain has slowed down to a pitter patter. It kind of keeps going on and off. I don't know if a lot of it's just kind of falling off of the trees, kind of when a gust of wind comes by, but pretty quiet around here. The more I've kind of been sitting and thinking about it, the more I'm getting a little more concerned about my food situation, with my stove being compromised. So I'm just toying with the idea of I have 28-ish miles left of the trip, is just knocking it all out tomorrow and getting back to my car. I could probably do that in about, I mean, if I went at the pace I went today, I would be able to do that in 11 hours on trail. So very real possibility that I may just push and do a big day tomorrow and just push to get out to my car. So we will see, but I'm just going to relax here a little bit more and probably go to bed here in a little bit. See you in the morning. Just leaving camp this morning and did not sleep very good last night. I'm just gonna get on trail here and try to start cranking out some miles. So right out of camp, this is kind of what the trail looks like and has been. Nice little overlook to try to enjoy the view for a second. Lots of mosquitoes. I keep it moving. I love these parts of trail that look like this with the roots and the pines. You have the overlooks that you can come to. So I am right now on Wolf Rock, and there's Lake Superior. And kind of go up this a little bit. Oops, actually I think the trail is over here. And then descend down to the Castle Danger trailhead. A little less mosquitoes on this one. Beautiful morning. So beautiful. This might actually be Wolf Rock. I'm not sure if the whole thing is Wolf Rock or just certain points, but I'm gonna start the descent now here. So the first probably half mile out of camp was just trudging through mud like I had shown before. That's just kind of the state. So I actually seem to have lost the tip of my brand new pole, which I'm a little bummed about, but who knows, probably lost it going through all of that mud yesterday in Gooseberry. And I actually had just replaced these, my past poles, the same ones, the Cascade, which I really like, but I had set it on a deck at the top of a waterfall and looked away for a second and it fell into the waterfall. So I lost one pole there. So I'm actually hoping that I can use maybe the parts from the other pole to fix this one. So we will see. So this is the descent here too, kind of coming down. This does not look steep. It is very steep. This is looking straight ahead for me, and that is looking down. So I'm gonna scramble down these rocks. And a view from the bottom up. Nice little stairs. Everything is nice and wet. So very nice and slippy. All right, so we made it to the Castle Danger trailhead, and I am headed on the trail this way. Not many people here at the trailhead, as you can see. These are the nice folks I camped with last night, and now to just find where the trail kind of dips back in here. So actually, there's where I came out of the trail. And then this is actually where it goes back in right here. So out one side and into the other. Here we go. All right, so just came down some steps here. And this is Crow Creek. This would be a good spot to get some water, but some of the people that had come in from some of the campers that came in from Castle Danger had jugs of water. Beautiful down there. Had jugs of water, and we're trying to get rid of them before they made the muddy trek back to their car with their looked to be about almost 1 year old. So I was able to fill up without having to filter, which is nice because my filter is so slow. Kind of fun following this beautiful high rock along the river. And I think I've lost the trail. Huh. Well, time to pull up the maps. All right, made my way back to here. This is the trail. I see the sign right over there. We have a wet crossing. I'm gonna put the phone away. And there we go. I was able to kind of rock hop across these little rocks here. As soon as I got over here, I did see a tree down there that I could have possibly walked over, but here we are, and looks like up we go. Alrighty, just climbed another hill coming out of that creek, and the sun is shining. I do believe that is Wolf Rock over there that we just came down and then crossed through here. I do see the road right there, so that does have to be it. Approaching another overlook here. Looks like the trail goes down that way. Just gonna take a peek. I've just been trudging through mud and swamp for the last mile or so, but coming uphill, so hopefully that helps a little bit. Back on trail. I'm still trying to decide, it's still early in the day, but still trying to decide what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna keep going through this. When it's not mud, it's like really wet, overgrown, like grass. I just came down from kind of like an overlook here, and this is just bliss walking in this. So I've been really enjoying that. This is a really nice part of the trail. So I am trying to section hike the Superior Hiking Trail. I completed the majority of it last year, and this stretch here to do the 15 to get to Reeves Falls, and then 13 to get back to my car at Rossini. I have the trip that I was going to do 2 weeks ago. Woohoo! Almost fell. The trip that I was going to do 2 weeks ago, I have a little 18-mile stretch from Penn to Split Rock Wayside, where I had said earlier in the video that I was doing going the other way on the loop, and I was going to come back. And then I have the 50 miles from Pincushion to the northern terminus. So I've got a few little trips left, and just trying to piece it together to section hike this thing. The trail is 300 miles long, so it does take some time to complete. I would love to through hike it, but it's just not in the cards for me to come up here for 3 weeks and through hike it. So between last year and this year, I am going to try to section hike it. All right, we are getting ready to descend. I see the markers going down, down, down. So here we go. All right, so that last hill that I showed you that I went down, I took a pretty big fall coming down there. Probably the biggest fall I've taken on the trail. Luckily a rock stopped me. So here we are, I think at the Encampment River, and looks like they've got a nice little rock path here to cross. So here we go. All right, we made it to another overlook, another hill. A lot more trudging through the mud and high grass that's very wet. And just a little cloud of mosquitoes that's following me. Sometimes on these overlooks, I get a little reprieve from the cloud of bugs where I drain my socks and just kind of take a second to apply the bug spray. It is really hard to keep it on because I'm going through such tall grass that you're just constantly getting wet. So it just keeps coming off. But every once in a while you get a slight little reprieve and a nice view. So I'm taking advantage of that as much as I can, just to kind of help morale. Still trying to, I have quite a ways to figure out if I want to keep pushing today, or, set up camp. So I'll make that call once I get there, but I have a ways to get there yet, a couple hours at least. All right, so I've just made my way to Highway 3. The Lake County 301 trailhead is, I think, like 2 miles that way, but I think we intersect, I don't know, it's on my map down there that the trail does intersect with it. So just ended up slogging through a ton of mud. Just came out here on this side and took my pack off for a second, emptied my socks of all the water, and now I'm gonna head back in. Today's been rough. Not gonna lie, it's been a grind, huge grind. Just mud, more mud, trudging through mud. My feet are completely trashed. The skin is starting to come off in multiple areas. Blisters are forming, and my food situation is compromised that I can't cook dinner. To boot, with the whole COVID thing, I'm not very hungry either, so I'm struggling to eat. It's just, I don't feel right out here to go set up camp. I'd be at camp probably in a few miles here, or push through another 13 beyond that, and it just doesn't feel safe to do that. So I decided to call the shuttle and have them meet me at Reeves trailhead. So I'm going to cut this trip a little bit short. Sometimes just not everything's in the card. So I'll come back and do the section maybe in the fall when it's a little bit better up here. It's just a lot of things going on. Normally I like to push through. I know physically I can make this hike. I've done it before. I've done this kind of mileage before, but it's time to bail. So I am going to get the few miles here to the trailhead and go meet Bob. Met up with shuttle driver Bob. He got me back to my car. Actually, we met up at Reeves Road Trailhead, and then he brought me back to my car, and it just started downpouring, and it's actually been raining, pretty good here on my way back to the city. So I do feel like it was the right decision to pull off trail. Just there's too many factors that were just adding up. I will say the section from Split Rock Wayside to Gooseberry was actually pretty enjoyable. Minimal bugs, that was pretty good. If all of it could have been like that, I would have stayed on trail. But after hitting Gooseberry, it just was mud. It was just slogging through mud. And I just couldn't see myself sitting up at camp in the rain all afternoon, or pushing through another 13 miles. And just physically, with the COVID, and I just wasn't feeling it. So still pretty good trip. Got in 28 miles in about 27 hours. Still got a lot of trail miles in, so just sometimes you just got to cut your trip short and play it safe. So that's the end of this one. Thanks for watching.